Ever noticed how the moment someone points out your behavior, your brain immediately shifts into defense mode? It doesn't matter if they're right. It doesn't even matter if you secretly know they're right. Your first instinct is to justify, deflect, or attack back. It's not logic, it's survival instinct. Being called out feels like a threat to your identity, so your mind scrambles to protect the version of yourself you want to believe in. The truth becomes the enemy, and the person delivering it, they become the villain. Around 450 BC, a prophet named Malachi walked into a culture that had perfected the art of religious performance. The people were going through the motions, showing up, saying the right things, offering sacrifices, but their hearts were nowhere near it. They were cutting corners, giving God their leftovers, treating worship like a transaction. And Malachi? He had the audacity to say it out loud. He pointed out their hypocrisy, their greed, their half-hearted devotion. And they didn't thank him, they argued. Every single time he called them out, they fired back with the same line. How have we done that? It wasn't curiosity, it was hostility dressed as a question. Malachi wasn't playing games. He laid it out piece by piece. "You've despised my name," he said. Their response? How have we despised it? He told them they were offering blind, lame, and sick animals as sacrifices, things they wouldn't dare give to their own governor. Their response? What's wrong with that? He called out the priests for leading people astray, for treating sacred things like garbage. He exposed their corrupt hearts, and every time they pushed back. Not because they didn't understand, but because admitting it would mean they'd have to change, and change is uncomfortable. Denial is easier. So they kept asking, how have we done that? Like broken records, weaponizing ignorance to avoid responsibility. The consequences, Malachi didn't sugarcoat them. He told them their blessings would turn to curses, their crops would fail, their influence would crumble. The very things they were trying to protect by cutting corners would slip through their fingers. And the worst part? They'd be forgotten. The last prophet of the Old Testament, and after him, silence. 400 years of it. No more prophets, no more warnings, just the echo of their own excuses bouncing back at them in the emptiness. They chose comfort over conviction, and it cost them everything. The irony is brutal. They defended their behavior so fiercely that they lost the very thing they were pretending to honor. Here's the pattern. When you refuse to listen to correction, you don't just stay where you are, you regress. Defensiveness isn't neutral, it's corrosive. It isolates you, hardens you, blinds you to your own decline. The people in Malachi's time weren't evil villains. They were normal people who convinced themselves they were fine while everything around them rotted. And the question, how have we done that, wasn't innocent. It was a shield, a way to avoid the mirror. If you ask it enough times, you start to believe your own denial. The warning signs were everywhere, but they chose not to see them, and by the time they did, it was too late to reverse. So here's the uncomfortable truth. The next time someone calls you out, your first reaction tells you everything. If your instinct is to defend, deflect, or demand proof, pause. That's not clarity, that's fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of being less than you thought you were. The people in Malachi's story didn't lose because they were weak. They lost because they convinced themselves they were strong while their foundation crumbled. You don't have to agree with every critique, but if you can't even consider it without your walls going up, you're not protecting yourself, you're trapping yourself. The question isn't, how have I done that? The question is, can you afford not to know?